Committee. Senator, very, very grateful for you to be on today to talk about tariffs, talk about the economy. But let me start where I was talking with Christine Romans. When you have oil going below $60 per barrel, that starts impacting states like Louisiana, Texas, an awful lot. About a quarter, as you know, a quarter of your Louisiana's economy comes from jobs in the oil and gas industry. 300,000 employers. You can go on and on. But the bigger problem is that suggests that some of the smartest minds across the world are betting on a recession. What are you saying to your business leaders when they're calling you about where this goes next?
Welcome back, Patriots, to Right View Nation, where we say what others won't, stand for what others fear, and fight for America first, always. I'm your host, your voice in the storm, and today we're breaking down a powerful interview with one of the few voices of reason left in Washington, Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana. Grab your coffee, put on that MAGA hat, and let's get into it.
Well, this is what I'm telling them. With tariffs, an eye for an eye just leaves both people blind. When a government imposes a tariff, it's putting its thumb on the scale. It interferes with people's freedom to exchange goods and services. Some countries, China, the best example, have used trade barriers as a weapon to hurt the American economy. You said it. God created the world. Everything else is made in China. President Trump decided to try to change this, and he, as we know, has imposed dramatically higher American tariffs on these countries. But then, at least for me, an extraordinary thing happened. We have 195 countries in the world. Probably 40% have come forward, and instead of bowing up and fighting, they've said, we want to lower our tariffs. Will you lower yours? I frankly never saw that coming. I think it is a wonderful opportunity. Now, I don't want to feign understanding. I do not know what the president is going to do next. There's an internal debate and going on inside and outside the White House. I can just tell you what I would do, Joe. I would pounce on this opportunity like a ninja. And I would use this as an opportunity to reduce, or in some cases, Taiwan, Vietnam, European Union, go to zero reciprocal tariffs. And then we can have free trade, let the best product at the best price win. But I don't want to mislead you. I don't know what the president's going to do next. I know what I hope he does.
Yeah. You know, Senator, on national news shows like ours and the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, Washington Post, obviously they're focusing on the losses on Wall Street. I'd love for you, if you could tell our friends that are watching right now, what's the impact on Main Street in Metairie, Louisiana, and Shreveport, all across your state? If these trends continue, what's the impact on family-owned businesses?
Well, the stock market matters. Wall Street and Main Street influence each other. What we've seen in the stock market, of course, has been painful. If you celebrate that, you hate little warm puppies. It's painful for two reasons. Number one, people lost a lot of money and they worked hard for it. But number two, you have to worry about the wealth effect. What does that mean? There's reliable data that shows for every $1 that the stock market drops, many consumers spend 25 cents less. And when you've got 62% of Americans exposed to the stock market, the danger is that they start spending less. And 70% of our economy is consumer driven. And if you're not careful with it, it can lead to a slowdown. Now, here's the good news. If you've watched the intraday swings, you'll see that every time the president talks positively about making a deal, the stock market goes up. And every time he backs off, the stock market goes down. That tells me that the fundamentals in the stock market are sound. But it tells me that the market is uncertain about the president's next step.
So Senator, there's an op-ed in the Wall Street Journal today about the Republicans who forgot their economics. There's really no need to highlight those that the Wall Street Journal was talking about, because I grew up in the Republican Party, and all of my friends that I've had most of my adult life in politics that are Republicans believe in free trade. Ones I came in with believed in balanced budgets, being fiscally conservative with a small c. I've got to believe that most Republicans like you believe in fair trade, but also believe in free trade. Where are they right now? And do you believe that Republicans in the Article 1 branch should step forward and take back some of this power to round off maybe some of the roughest edges on these tariffs that are going to hurt people in Main Street USA?
Well, I've been preaching for 2 weeks on the Senate floor. I don't want to be at war with Canada. I've been preaching for 2 weeks that Canada and America should go to zero reciprocal tariffs. Here's my point. From one perspective, from my perspective, you may not share it. President Trump has won. We have an opportunity here. I hope he seizes it. But I don't know whether he will seize it or not. To answer your question, though, directly, I have not joined the Grassley bill. I'm not likely to join the Grassley bill. The Grassley bill will not pass, and if it passes, the president will veto it. I was not here when Congress gave away its power. I would not have voted to give away our power, but we did it. If we get on the Grassley bill, we'll just spend a year fighting with no results. And sometimes we can spend a year in Congress getting nothing done. And I just think it's a distraction. The most immediate question for me is, the president is a pit bull. He's won. He's caught the car. The question is, what's he going to do with the car? I know what I'd do.
Right. You also, I got a quote here that I'm going to have to put into my lexicon. You say he caught the car. He's got these foreign nations up to the lick log, as they say on the farm. What do we do next? I'm going to use that lick log. Yeah, that's a good one. But, you know, Senator, I don't know that I would say the president's won yet, because we just don't know how this, like you said, we don't know how this is going to shake out. But he certainly has South Korea, the EU. He's got some of our strongest trading partners, Japan, saying, let's make a deal. It seems to me the president actually has proven his point, hasn't he? That except for China, and maybe he has to keep fighting China for a while, but for our allies, hasn't the president already sort of made his point, and these people now want to come to him and negotiate?
Well, number one, your grandmother in Georgia will know what a lick log is. You might have to explain it. You might have to explain it to Mika, and to Willie, and to Jonathan. But
definitely
number two, when I say the president's won, here's what I mean. Would 40% of the 200 countries in the world be coming to America now trying to reduce their tariffs if President Trump had not done what he did? No. Every fair-minded American knows that. I just don't know what's going to happen next. In terms of China, look, China wants a deal. For them right now, it's not about the economy. It's about saving face. China wants a deal. China's economy is in worse shape, I'll be glad to talk about it if you want, than it's been in 25 years. They can't afford a trade war. They are quietly seeking a deal with President Trump, as are 40% of the countries in the world. I mean, the president's won. We wouldn't have this opportunity but for what he did. All I'm saying is, let's take it. You know, let's take it. Let's pounce on it like a ninja. I would be on this deal like a hobo on a ham sandwich, man. I'd have him lined up at the White House.
Write that one down, too. So let's go to Jonathan Lemire, the Massachusetts New Englander, who I think you are correct, Senator, has no idea what a lick log is. Nope. But Jonathan, I just want to underline a point that the senator made real quick before your question. Because of what President Xi has done over the past 5 years, basically because what he did in Hong Kong, because what he's done with people like Jack Ma, because he's encouraged his best minds, his best thinkers, his best entrepreneurs to leave China. Senator's exactly right. China's not exactly in a strong position right now.
No question. China's economy has also struggled of late, particularly in recent years, particularly post-COVID. I did get the reference on hobo on a sandwich. That one I got. So, Senator, on that idea of wanting to take this deal, President Trump, to this point, has not suggested he'd want to. He suggested this trade war could be prolonged for weeks or more. Your state obviously went strongly for President Trump in this last election. There's no question there. But as you talk to your constituents who are watching their 401ks, who are watching their retirement accounts, who are bracing themselves for higher prices, that seem to be escalating by the day, what are they telling you? What do you think their patience level is, and their pain threshold is going to be?
Well, they're like me. They're uncertain. My people are very supportive of President Trump. And I think they see what I see, which is that we wouldn't have this opportunity had he not been like a bulldog with these other countries. But now the question becomes, we have this opportunity. What are we going to do with it? I've heard the president make comments publicly and, frankly, privately. I've been in meetings with him on both sides here. And I've heard his people on TV all weekend make comments all over the map. Frankly, that's part of the problem. Some of them needs to stop talking, or at least before they speak, talk to their boss. I just think we're at a critical moment. I don't want to feign understanding. I have no idea what the president's going to do. I just know what I do.
Right.
And if you do it, you'll see the market. You'll see the market go back.
Okay, and if he doesn't, I guess, you've said you won't get on the Grassley bill, but what can you and other members of Congress do, and at what point will you act on behalf of your constituents?
Well, here's the world we find ourselves in. Congress gave the executive branch all of its power on trade. So it's up to the president right now. We can spend all our time trying to move a bill taking his power back, but it won't pass. And number two, right now it's a distraction. All we can do is make our case. That's why I'm here. I'm making it publicly. I'm making it privately. I would take the deal. I don't know how else to say it. I can't predict the future. I have to wait for it like everybody else. But I do think that we'll look back a year from now if we take this deal and say what I'm saying today is that President Trump, he's won this fight. Now let's don't lose it by not taking the opportunity.
Yeah, don't snatch defeat from the jaws of victory seems to be your message, Senator. And again, just for those watching, of course, you'd have to get 60 votes in the Senate to pass anything, and then override a presidential veto, which, as the House, as the senator said, is highly unlikely. Go ahead, Senator.
I was just going to say, you made the point, Joe. Pigs may fly someday, but I doubt it. It's just, we can get off on a trade bill, but man, I'm just telling you, it's just going to be a bunch of partisan pageantry.
All right. Republican Senator John Kennedy of Louisiana, we greatly appreciate you coming on to talk about tariffs and hope you come back soon.
Thank you very much.
Folks, let me tell you something. Listening to Senator Kennedy is like getting a breath of fresh southern air in a city full of swamp gas. This man gets it. He's plain-spoken, sharp as a tack, and actually understands what's at stake here for real Americans. Now, Kennedy's talking about something the mainstream media doesn't want you to focus on. The winning we've seen under President Trump's trade strategy. The left tries to twist this narrative every day, screaming about tariffs, pretending like the world's on fire. But let's be honest, what's really happening is that President Trump has gone toe-to-toe with foreign countries who have been ripping us off for decades. And guess what? He's coming out on top. Senator Kennedy described President Trump as a bulldog, and he's damn right. Trump doesn't roll over like Obama did. He doesn't apologize for America like Biden does. He digs in. He fights. And because of that, guess what's happening? Over 40% of the countries in the world are now lining up to cut tariffs, not increase them. Let me repeat that for the liberals in the back. Foreign countries want to lower tariffs because they respect, no, they fear, America finally playing hardball. That's what leadership looks like. Now the left wants to cry about the stock market every time it sneezes. Kennedy points out something critical. Yes, there's market fluctuation. That happens. But every time President Trump so much as hints at making a deal, the market goes up. That tells you everything you need to know. The fundamentals are strong, but the market wants certainty. And Trump can deliver that if we stop the noise, stop the infighting, and push forward. Here's where Senator Kennedy really hits the nail on the head. Congress gave away its power on trade. That's right. The same people now whining about tariffs handed that authority to the executive branch. Now they want to play victim? Please. The Grassley bill? Waste of time. Senator Kennedy knows it. You and I know it. It's all political theater. Meanwhile, Trump's got a real opportunity in his hands to reshape the global trade map in America's favor. The question isn't whether he can win, it's whether he'll take the W and seal the deal. And let's talk about China. Oh, the left loves to cry that we can't win against them. But Kennedy lays it out plain and simple. China's economy is hurting. Bad. Xi Jinping has driven out innovation, cracked down on his own entrepreneurs, and backed himself into a corner. They need a deal. They don't want to admit it, but they do. President Trump's approach? It's working. He's got China on the ropes. This isn't just about trade. This is about standing up for America's sovereignty and making it clear we will no longer be your economic doormat. While the media obsesses over Wall Street, Kennedy reminds us what really matters. Main Street, family-owned businesses, workers in Louisiana, Texas, Ohio, people who don't get invited to elite cocktail parties in D.C., tariffs, oil prices, the market, these things aren't just numbers. They impact real lives. And you know who gets that? President Trump and Senator Kennedy. They're not talking down to us. They're talking with us. Look, folks, Senator Kennedy said it best. President Trump caught the car. He got the foreign countries to the negotiating table. Now we've got to take the deal. Don't let this moment slip through our fingers. The left will try to downplay it. The rhinos will try to derail it. But we, the American people, must keep pushing forward. Because in the end, we don't back down. We don't bend the knee. We put America first. So if you're tired of the lies, tired of the weakness, and ready to fight for this great nation, hit that like button, share this video, and drop a USA Strong in the comments below. And remember, this is Right View Nation, where truth still matters, freedom still rings, and America always comes first. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.